Welcome to our deep dive today.
Okay.
We're going to be exploring the life of Wayne Osmond.
Yeah.
A name you might know as part of the legendary Osmond family.
Right.
But we're going beyond those catchy tunes and familiar faces to uncover the man behind the music.
Yeah.
I've got Wayne's Wikipedia page here.
Okay.
And some really interesting articles.
Uh-huh.
And of course, I'm joined by our expert
Absolutely.
to help us understand just what made Wayne tick, how his talents fit into the Osmonds' success, and what challenges he faced along the way.
It's easy to get kind of swept up in the whirlwind of the Osmonds' fame.
Right.
But what's fascinating here is how Wayne's individual story adds a whole new layer to their journey.
Absolutely. And to really graft his story, we need to go back to the beginning. I mean, picture this.
Okay.
Ogden, Utah, 1958.
Wow.
A young Wayne.
Yeah.
Singing barbershop harmony with his brothers.
That's great.
Talk about starting early.
It really speaks to the deep-rooted musicality in that family.
Right.
But it wasn't just family fun.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And destiny was knocking.
Yeah.
Just a few years later, they're discovered by Andy Williams' father
Wow.
while performing at Disneyland.
No way.
I mean, come on, how cool is that?
It's amazing.
From a Utah stage to international stardom
Right.
practically overnight.
Yeah.
It's like something out of a movie.
It is. It's incredible. And it launched them into a whole new world, performing on the Andy Williams show, touring Europe.
Wow.
Their careers just skyrocketing.
Those early years must have been a whirlwind.
Oh, yeah.
But let's talk about Wayne's specific role in all of this.
Okay.
He wasn't just a singer.
Right.
He played multiple instruments. And apparently had perfect pitch.
Yeah.
Now I'm a bit musically challenged.
Okay.
So can you explain what that means and why it's such a big deal?
You got it. So imagine being able to identify any note you hear instantly without needing a reference. That's perfect pitch. It's incredibly rare.
Wow.
And it allowed Wayne to not only sing beautifully, but also to effortlessly learn new instruments and arrange harmonies.
Wow.
The Osmonds were known for their tight vocal harmonies.
Right.
And having someone like Wayne in the mix would have been a huge asset in the studio.
Wow. So he was like their secret weapon.
Absolutely.
And this is where I think things get really interesting.
Okay.
We often hear about Donnie and Rhee's individual success. But Wayne's contributions seem a bit more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He was known for his business skills, too.
Exactly. You know, someone had to manage those complex contracts, organize those world tours, and ensure that the band was profitable.
Yeah.
It's likely that Wayne's behind-the-scenes work contributed significantly to the Osmonds' longevity.
Okay, so we've got a multi-talented musician, a savvy businessman. And of course, he's part of this incredibly famous family.
Right.
But their faith was also a big part of their identity, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
It wasn't just music for them.
Yeah.
It was intertwined with their beliefs.
The Osmonds were very open about their Mormon faith.
Right.
And it definitely influenced their music and their public image. This was the 70s.
Right.
A time of huge cultural shifts.
Yeah.
And the pop music scene wasn't exactly known for wholesomeness.
Right. But they weren't afraid to be different.
Yeah.
And that authenticity probably resonated with audiences, especially families.
Definitely. It set them apart.
Yeah.
And speaking of setting themselves apart, let's not forget their musical evolution.
Right.
They went from a barbershop quartet to pop rock stars.
That's quite a transformation.
It is.
It's like going from milk and cookies to, well, crazy horses. I'm curious.
Yeah.
What do you think drove that shift? Was it a natural progression or a deliberate strategy to reach a wider audience?
It was probably a bit of both.
Okay.
You know, they had the talent, they had the ambition, and they saw an opportunity to connect with broader fan base.
And boy, did they succeed.
They did.
Those early 70s hits like Crazy Horses really showcased their musical range and that willingness to experiment.
Absolutely.
But amidst all of this success, Wayne finds love.
He does.
He marries Kathleen White, a former Miss Utah.
Wow.
In 1974.
Okay.
They go on to have 5 children.
It's a reminder that even in the whirlwind of fame, life's important milestones still happen.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, life isn't always a smooth melody.
Right.
In 1997, Wayne faced a major health challenge.
Okay.
A brain tumor.
Wow.
The treatment, while successful, resulted in a significant hearing impairment.
Oh, wow.
Forcing him to retire from music.
Imagine the dedication and resilience it must have taken for Wayne to face that loss.
It must have been devastating.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially given how central music was to his life.
And then in 2012, he suffers a stroke that leaves him unable to play guitar.
Oh.
To face such significant setbacks.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
It is.
But it also speaks to his strength and resilience.
Absolutely. He was dealt a difficult hand.
Yeah.
But he never gave up.
It's interesting to note that he was a licensed pilot,
Oh, wow.
earning him the nickname Wings,
Okay.
and continued to fly until mobility issues near the end of his life made it impossible.
Talk about a spirit that refuses to be grounded.
Right.
Yeah.
But sadly, on January 1st, 2025, Wayne passed away at the age of 73.
Oh, wow.
From what I've read, it was another massive stroke that ultimately took him.
Oh.
His passing was a shock to many,
Yeah.
especially considering how close the Osmond family is.
Yeah.
It's actually a significant detail that often gets overlooked.
Okay.
Wayne is the first of the Osmond siblings to pass away.
It truly marks the end of an era.
Yeah.
And you can feel the depth of their loss in the heartfelt tributes shared by his family.
Yeah.
His brother, Merrill, wrote something particularly poignant.
He said, "His departure from this earth will be a sad moment for some.
Yeah.
But for those who are waiting for him on the other side, there will be a massive celebration.
Wow.
Beyond anything we can imagine."
It's a reminder of their strong faith.
Yeah.
And the belief in something beyond this earthly existence.
Absolutely. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From those early days in Ogden to his later years marked by both incredible highs and devastating lows.
Yeah.
It's clear that Wayne Osmond led a life that was both extraordinary and relatable.
Absolutely.
Before we move on, I'm curious, what stands out to you about Wayne's story so far?
Honestly, for me, it's his resilience, facing those health challenges.
Yeah.
He never gave up on living life to the fullest. And then there's that unwavering dedication to family.
Yeah.
Even amidst the pressures of fame.
Yeah.
It's truly inspiring.
I think what's often overlooked in stories of celebrity is the importance of those deep personal connections.
Absolutely.
For Wayne, family was clearly his anchor.
Yeah.
I completely agree. But let's not forget his musical talent and business savvy.
Right.
Often overshadowed by the spotlight on his siblings.
Right.
He was a key player in the Osmonds' success.
Well said.
Yeah.
So we've gotten a glimpse of his early life, his rise to fame, and the challenges he faced. Now, let's dive into the next chapter of Wayne Osmond's life and explore the legacy he leaves behind.
Okay. You know, as we delve deeper into Wayne's story, I keep thinking about the Osmonds' impact on pop culture. I mean, they weren't just a band.
Yeah.
They were a phenomenon.
Absolutely.
And Wayne was right there in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Shaping their journey in ways we often don't hear about.
It's true. Their influence goes way beyond the music. They really represented a specific time and a specific set of values. And Wayne played a really vital role in maintaining that image.
You're right. And one thing that always stood out to me was their incredible work ethic.
Right.
It's legendary.
Yeah.
I remember reading about how their father instilled that in them from a very young age.
Absolutely. George Osmond, their dad, was a driving force behind their success. He was strict. No doubt about that.
Right.
But also deeply devoted to his family.
Yeah.
He instilled in them the values of hard work, dedication, and of course their faith.
And that faith wasn't just a personal thing for them.
Right.
It really informed their music, their public image, even their business decisions.
It's fascinating how their Mormon faith shaped their trajectory in an industry that isn't always known for embracing those traditional values.
Right. It's almost like they were walking a tightrope between their beliefs and the demands of show business.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And somehow they managed to navigate those two worlds while staying true to themselves.
Right.
That authenticity likely contributed to their widespread appeal.
You know what I remember watching the Donnie and Ree show as a kid?
Yeah.
Their energy was infectious.
It was.
But there was always this underlying sense of family unity that really shone through. It makes you wonder how they balanced individual ambitions with the pressure of maintaining the Osmond brand?
It's a question that a lot of family bands grapple with.
Yeah.
You know, at the Osmonds case, I think their shared faith and their upbringing played a huge role in keeping them grounded.
Right.
They had this strong foundation to fall back on.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But let's talk about their musical evolution for a second.
Okay.
They went from a clean-cut barbershop quartet to rocking out with Crazy Horses.
Right.
That's quite a leap.
It is. It speaks to their willingness to adapt.
Yeah.
And evolve with the times.
Right.
You know, they weren't afraid to push boundaries.
Yeah.
And try new things.
Right.
Which is essential for any artist that wants to stay relevant.
Totally. It would have been so easy just to stick with what they knew.
Right.
What had already brought them success.
Mm-hmm.
But they took risks and it paid off.
It did. They were able to connect with a whole new generation of fans.
Right. And those early 70s hits.
Yeah.
Like Crazy Horses and One Bad Apple.
Yeah.
They had a different energy.
Yeah.
A bit of an edge.
Yeah.
That set them apart from the bubblegum pop that was so popular at the time.
Right.
They weren't just singing about puppy love anymore.
Right.
There was a depth and a maturity to their music that resonated with audiences.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It showed growth, both musically and personally.
Right.
And that's something that fans connect with.
Right.
It makes the artist more relatable, more human.
So we know Donnie and Marie went on to have their own successful careers.
Right.
Both together and separately.
Yeah.
But what about Wayne?
Yeah.
Did he ever venture out on his own?
Well, while Wayne's primary focus was always on the group, he was also involved in production.
Oh, okay.
Working behind the scenes.
Okay.
On some of the Osmonds television projects.
Okay.
It seems like he had a natural inclination toward the business side of the entertainment industry.
Ah, so he had that entrepreneurial spirit.
Exactly.
That seems to run in the family.
He wasn't content to just be a performer.
Right.
He wanted to understand the mechanics of the industry.
Yeah.
The nuts and bolts of how things worked.
That makes sense.
Right.
Especially with his sharp mind and strong work ethic.
It also suggests that he may have played a more significant role in shaping the Osmonds' overall success.
Than we realize.
It's easy to focus on the performers, the ones in the spotlight. But someone has to keep everything running smoothly behind the scenes. And it sounds like Wayne was a master at that.
He was the steady hand. The one ensuring that the ship stayed on course.
You know what really gets me about Wayne is the way that he handled those health challenges later in life. I mean, it would have been so easy to become bitter or withdrawn after losing his hearing, his ability to play guitar. But he seemed to face those difficulties with incredible grace and determination.
There's a quiet strength
that
emanates from his story. It's not about denying the struggles, but finding a way to live fully, even when facing adversity.
It's such a powerful message. And it seems like he found joy in so many areas of his life. Music, family, flying. He even continued to fly after his stroke, as long as he was physically able. That speaks volumes about his spirit. His refusal to let these challenges define him.
He really embodied that the sky's the limit attitude, didn't he?
I did.
It's amazing.
And let's not forget the importance of his faith throughout these trials. It clearly provided him with comfort and strength.
You're right. It was a constant in his life. Something he could always rely on.
As his brother Merrill said in his tribute, there's a sense that Wayne's passing, while sad, is also a celebration, a homecoming of sorts.
It's a beautiful way to look at it.
It is.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what are you pondering right now?
I'm thinking about the definition of success.
Okay.
You know, we often measure it in external achievements, hit songs, awards, accolades. But Wayne's story reminds us that true success encompasses so much more. Resilience, character, love, and the ability to find meaning and purpose, even when facing these extraordinary challenges.
It's a beautiful sentiment. And it's something we can all take to heart.
Absolutely.
No matter what path we're on.
It's about focusing on what truly matters. The things that bring us joy and connect us to something larger than ourselves.
And Wayne certainly exemplified that.
He did.
Now, as we move into the final part of our exploration, let's consider the lasting impact of Wayne's life. and the legacy he leaves behind,
Okay.
both for his family and for those of us who are touched by his music and his story. As we've been exploring Wayne's life, I keep coming back to this idea of family legacy.
Yeah.
The Osmonds, they're practically American royalty,
Right.
with multiple generations of talent,
Absolutely.
all stemming from that original barbershop quartet.
It's a true dynasty.
Yeah.
Wayne was there from the very beginning,
Right.
helping to build the foundation
Yeah.
for what would become this global phenomenon.
And even though he wasn't always in the spotlight,
Right.
like some of his siblings,
Yeah.
his contributions were undeniably significant.
It's interesting how each Osmond carved their own niche
Yeah.
within the family brand.
Yeah.
Donnie and Marie with their variety show,
Right.
Jimmy with his solo career,
Yeah.
and then you have Wayne,
Right.
the steady presence
Yeah.
behind the scenes,
Yeah.
making sure that musical legacy continued to thrive.
It really is like a well-oiled machine,
It is.
each part working in harmony
Yeah.
to create something truly special.
I think that speaks to the power of shared values
Yeah.
and the deep sense of unity.
Yeah.
You know, they may have had their individual aspirations,
Right.
but they never lost sight of that core connection as a family.
And that bond was so apparent
Oh, yeah.
in the outpouring of love and grief after Wayne's passing.
Yeah.
Those heartfelt tributes
Absolutely.
from his siblings
Yeah.
really showed how deeply loved and respected he was.
It's a reminder that beyond the fame and fortune,
Yeah.
beyond the hit songs and television appearances,
Right.
it's the relationships we build
Yeah.
and the impact we have
Yeah.
on those we love that truly matter.
So true.
Yeah.
As we reflect on Wayne's life and legacy,
Yeah.
what resonates most with you?
Well, for me,
Yeah.
it's the reminder that resilience isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about finding the strength to keep going even when life throws these curveballs.
Right.
Wayne faced incredibly difficult challenges,
Yeah.
but never let them extinguish his spirit.
Right. And he never stopped seeking out joy,
No.
whether it's through music family or soaring through the skies as wings.
He embraced life on his own terms, and I think that's a powerful message for all of us.
It certainly is. So as we reach the end of our deep dives into Wayne Osmond's life, I want to leave our listeners with this thought.
Okay.
How would you describe Wayne's contribution to music and his family's legacy? What will you remember most about him? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.